the baby food aisle was all fruit. It's just carbs, 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 carbs.
So then what prompts you to decide to launch this company?
So I've always wanted to have kids. I drew pictures of my future children when I was 5. I still have
God,
the
I
pictures.
love it.
So always wanted to have kids. And so certainly I got more serious. That was like the first thought. We were, getting older. It's like, let's have a baby. We weren't even married yet. Like she had been married before, didn't want to be married again. I was like, I'd love to be married, but I don't really need to be. I really just want a baby. So we were planning to start trying to get pregnant, and we were at Paleo FX in 2016. And she just
I was
got
there. I
terminal.
was at Paleo.
2016. Oh, that's great. Paleo 16. You were there. She said, let's go find the baby stuff. There's got to be some really fun paleo baby foods or toys or whatever. And there was nothing for babies. And, she was friends with the CEO of Paleo FX. She's like, Michelle, where's the baby stuff? She's like, I ask myself that every year. I'm always wondering, when is somebody going to start, paleo baby food or baby products? And so, she thought, oh, well, I guess we'll just need to make our own baby food. And, I was in a place of an entrepreneurial mindset. I was tired of hour for hour services and had read 4-hour work week and was looking for a product to start. And as I learned more about the product gap and thought maybe this is an opportunity that we could create something for our baby that also makes us money and helps us change the world. And then she got really into the nutrition side, and she's the nutrition nerd and learned all about what babies need nutritionally, and spent her summer of nerddom, she calls it, of 2016, really digging into all the science of everything from paleo bloggers to the USDA's guide to infant feeding, which is a real page turner,
Yeah.
And they all basically agreed, everything from the government to paleo to everyone was pretty clear that babies need meat, fat, vegetables. They don't need sugar, right? Anything inflammatory should be avoided. And the breast milk is nature's perfect baby food. That's what it came down to, was nature already made a perfect baby food, breast milk. And breast milk is mostly fat and carbs and is an animal product with some protein. And so essentially we're going from this perfect food, fat, protein, and carbs from an animal, I like to say a free range animal, to fruit. The baby food aisle was all fruit. It's just carbs, 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 carbs. Some grains, some industrial seed oils. So it's like all stuff we didn't eat, very high in sugar and very imbalanced from a nutritional standpoint, and nothing like breast milk. And so we're like, what if we took the macronutrients of breast milk, that fat, carb, protein ratio, and mimicked that with pasture-raised meats and organic vegetables and healthy oils like avocado and olive oil, and created a very different kind of baby food. And we went into the kitchen, started making it, started passing out to our friends with babies. We're driving it all over town to babies to try it, and landed on some really great recipes, our beef and chicken recipes, which are our first products that are still some of our most popular products. The grass-fed beef with sweet potato and kale, and the free-range chicken with organic pea and carrot were our really first 2 recipes that came out. And it took us a long time to get them launched. It was a very hard production process, about 2 years to get them to market. But then they launched the same day our baby was born.
Stop it.
It was crazy. In the process, we got pregnant. Our baby Della was, we had planned to launch the products a lot sooner. They were late. Baby came 2 weeks early, and it all happened on the same day, which
is crazy.
Totally crazy. Always meant to be. And, the products have continued to grow up with her.
I love it. That is great. So did you guys how involved were you in the formulation? Sounds like you guys created kind of everything.
100%. In our kitchen, we actually lived in a co-op at the time. So we had 9 roommates. We had to reserve the kitchen for baby food making purees. So we were making these purees at our communal kitchen, and our roommates were trying them, and it passed them out to babies. And that's still how we make all of our recipes. We make first. We make them in our kitchen, or we have a on-site test kitchen now. But the taste and the quality and the formulation, we do a lot to get that right before sending it to factories.
I love it. And then sourcing, tell me about where you guys are sourcing a lot of your ingredients from.
Yeah. Sourcing was really important for me. My mom grew up on a family farm in southern Missouri, so I grew up seeing that lifestyle of the living with animals and how they're connected to the environment, but also how hard it is economically for them. And then the paleo movement really highlighted the nutritional benefits of pasture-raised and regeneratively farmed meats, that how an animal's raised really affects its nutrition. So both from wanting to be most nutrient dense possible for babies and wanting to support family farms like my grandparents, we committed to that really early, that we were going to only source family farm, pasture-raised meats. And we got introduced to the founders of Epic Bar, Taylor and Katie, really amazing folks. They were 6 months pregnant and had just sold Epic Bar to General Mills, so they had a little bit of free time. And they sat down with us and really helped us create our sourcing strategy. They taught us about regenerative agriculture and how important that was. It was much newer at the time then.
Had they started Force of Nature at this point or not yet?
No, this was before Force of Nature. This was before Rome Ranch. They just sold. They were still working at Epic.
There's probably still, working for General Mills or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They were in that transition stage. And so they actually told us not to ever do a bison baby food, because bison was so hard to find. Like, we have such a hard time finding bison. Don't ever do bison baby food. And now they went and started a bison ranch who supplies our bison baby food. So they solved that problem, and now we can have regeneratively farmed bison baby food. So, I'm also a really big environmentalist. In college, I was sitting in trees, and I was vegan, and cooking, food not bombs, this vegan dumpster dive food for homeless people, and was chaining myself to bulldozers. It was really radical environmentalist, and I still am. So it was when I learned about regenerative agriculture and the ability for meat to sequester carbon, make the planet better, reverse climate change, while also providing really nutritious food, sustainable life for farmers, better life, humane life for animals, makes babies healthier, tastes great. It was just wow, this is almost too good to be true. This is what we got to do. So we committed to that regenerative supply chain and have really built that out. It didn't exist nearly as much when we started. Now there's much more of a supply chain. And so that's really helped us grow our business as that's grown. But it's the future. Regenerative is the new organic. It's really one of the biggest tools we have to reverse climate change.